Welcome into New Orleans Saints now. I am Tom Downey here with the latest around New Orleans after let's call it what it was, pretty disappointing and frustrating to watch loss for New Orleans against the Dallas Cowboys. The officials, not particularly good in that game. I am still very confused how and or why that was a blind side block that really helped impact the game. Although Taysom Hill, who we'll spend plenty of time on today, also wasn't particularly great. A 27-17 loss for the Saints puts them in tough position in terms of the playoff race, but still alive. Let's break down some news and rumors then around New Orleans, beginning with the number one story right now. That is Taysom Hill, both his play and his injury. Hill suffered a torn tendon in his middle finger, the so-called mallet finger injury, much like Russell Wilson suffered this year for Seattle. Unlike Russell Wilson, the injury not as severe. Now, it should require a surgery at some point, or at least it may require one, but the plan right now is that Hill does not need surgery. Instead, he will attempt to play through the injury, at least for the time being. Unfortunately for Hill and the Saints, the results were not very good against the Dallas Cowboys. The yardage actually looks pretty great, 264. The 70-yard catch by Deontay Harris, that was really a 5-yard catch, and a 65-yard after catch, which is something Harris is so great at, inflates those numbers. To be blunt, Hill missed a ton of throws in that game. The Cowboys dared Taysom Hill to beat them through the air, and he did not. 4 interceptions plus a fat guy pick 6. Under pressure, he was bad. 1 of 12 for 12 yards and an interception when pressured last night. Completed his first pass and then missed the remaining 11 in the end. On the bright side for Taysom Hill, the thing he does oh so well, he's so dynamic on the ground. The Saints later on in that game, and I would argue should have done more of it, operated almost a wildcat offense with Taysom Hill, running quarterback powers, and it worked wonders. 11 carries, 101 yards. Enough if you play in fantasy, you feel okay about it there. It's pretty damn impressive yards per carry, but the passing, just not great. Overall, Taysom Hill is who we know he is. He is an incredibly gifted athlete. He's able to play quarterback and running back, H-back, special teams, etc. He's also a bad passer. I know the thumb or the finger injury is a factor, make no mistake about it. He missed a lot of throws in that game. He was missing wide open dudes. There were a couple throws that were so bad they weren't picked off because nobody could catch them. So I want you guys, before we spend some more time on what the plan is at quarterback with Hill, to grade Hill against the Dallas Cowboys. A, B, C, D, or F. Very curious how you guys grade him here. I know there are always some Taysom Hill truthers out there, but this is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, head down there and give out some grades. Now, in the event that Taysom Hill, whether it's this week or maybe more likely near the back end of the season, does miss some time, the Saints still have 3 quarterbacks in total on the active roster: Trevor Siemian and Ian Book. Siemian got the start before Taysom Hill was closer to being healthy, to being able to play, and he was okay, not great. I would rather keep seeing Taysom Hill because of what he brings you on the ground. Siemian is a backup quarterback. That's what he is. Decent touchdown-interception ratio. Not quite as good as, say, Jameis Winston. The yards, whatever. Completion percentage, not that great either. Siemian doesn't really do much for me. I don't think you're going to win games with him, and he's certainly not a long-term answer, which is why I would be very interested in at least seeing what Ian Book can do. Now, he has not played this year yet for New Orleans, but was a 4th-round pick, a surprisingly early round pick for Book out of Notre Dame. If the Saints, they're not there yet, but in the event they are eliminated from the playoffs, wouldn't you want to see Ian Book in the event Taysom Hill is injured? I kind of certainly do. So who do you want to start? Pick one for me. Type TS for Trevor Siemian, TH for Taysom Hill, and yes, that is an IB. I know that I's and L's can look similar, but it's, of course, IB for Ian Book. Get those votes in for me in the comments section. One thing I don't want to see happen is what Josina Anderson floated out on Twitter. Ooh, could the Saints add Colin Kaepernick? No, because what year is it? Guys, move on. Find a new slant. It has been 5 years since Colin Kaepernick played a game in the NFL. And the Saints have 5 games left. There are 0 valid football reasons why this would make sense for New Orleans. By the time he's up to speed, your season is probably over, or the quarterback you've been playing is the one you want to keep playing. And at his age, he's not going to be a piece for you long term, so I'd rather see Ian Book. Stop suggesting Colin Kaepernick. Yes, he got blackballed by the NFL, and that's BS. It's too late. The NFL won that thing, although I guess Kaepernick won since he got the settlement. Move on. It's not happening. Suggesting it is only pushing an agenda at this point, because football-wise, there's 0 reason to credibly suggest it. Now, if you want to make some money betting on the NFL, do our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code you see right there on screen. That is chat125. I did bet on Dallas to win that game. Ended up hitting. Sorry, Saints fans. But you can get the 125% deposit bonus at chatsports.com/bet when you use promo code chat125. Now, the loss was bad, make no mistake, for New Orleans. However, they are not out of this playoff race. And I hear producer Marshall laughing. I know it's because the NFC bottom tier is bad. I get that. And 5-6 right now is the number 7 seed in Washington. And I don't think they're that great of a football team, if we're being honest. I understand all of that good stuff. The Saints won that head-to-head matchup, by the way. They are a game and a half back, at least for now. And the schedule, by the way, is not that daunting. You should beat the Jets in Week 14. You're probably not going to beat the Bucs in a Sunday Night Football game that I would bet, or at least might, get flexed out in Week 15. The Dolphins game is fairly winnable, even if you are on a 5-game losing streak right now. Carolina and Atlanta, you can win those games. It is within the realm of possibility for the Saints to win 4 of their last 5. If that's the case, that legit might be enough to make the postseason in a not-so-great NFC. So what should the Saints do right now? Type W for keep trying to win some games, beat the Jets, make that late run at the 7th seed in the NFC, or type in T for you'd rather tank and move on and focus on the NFL draft. Now, come off-season time, we're going to have you guys covered right here on New Orleans Saints Now. Constant updates on everything going on around the offseason, news, rumors, draft, free agency, trades. We've got you covered. This will be your one-stop shop. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe today. I hope to see Alvin Kamara back, and I say that in part because I am an Alvin Kamara fantasy owner. He missed another game against the Dallas Cowboys. He's dealing with that mild, allegedly, knee sprain. He's missed more than 3 weeks at this point. He was limited at practice all week. I had assumed, sign he's going to play. Wrong. And boy, did the Saints miss him on offense in a fairly big fashion. The yards per carry, not great, if we're being honest. 3.6, O-line's banged up, team's keying on him, but he's been really good in the receiving game. Kamara's the only reliable, consistent playmaker on that offense. Some slight apologies, I guess, maybe to Deontay Harris, but the Saints miss Kamara in a big, big way. The O-line also down 2 more starters against Dallas. Hopefully Armstead and Ramczyk will return next week against the Jets, a game that team should win. The Saints, I mean. James Hurst and Jordan Mills, they had a rough go against Tank Lawrence and Micah Parsons. But back to Kamara. Will he play next week for New Orleans? If you want to speak it into existence or you believe it's going to be the case, type in Y for yes, or you can type in N for no. Want to hit some rapid-fire players here to wrap up following that Cowboys-Saints game. Marcus Williams, a nice pass breakup. Also, what the hell are you doing in run support on the Tony Pollard touchdown run? He was not going full speed. Did he just misjudge the speed of Tony Pollard? Get your butt down there and make a play. I know it's a tough angle, but you got to do better than that, Marcus. Come on, man. I also want to shout out Deontay Harris. Had a bad drop, sure. Also had an awesome touchdown catch and run, by the way, as he ran right by the entire Cowboys defense on that long score. He's a fun little playmaker for New Orleans, but he's not a number one guy, and the Saints still need more receiver help. I'd like to see, by the way, a little bit more snap count, more snaps for Pete Werner. He had a couple nice tackles in a limited role for Dallas at the linebacker position. I liked what Werner did for the Saints against the Cowboys. I want to see more of that moving forward.